Hey guys, it's Red Lightning and welcome to another episode of Life. It's back this week. I had a cold last week, but now I feel much better. Now we can just get started with it. So let's get started with it. First up, Song of the Week. Oceans by Hillsong United. Oceans Where Feet May Fail. By Hillsong United. It goes like, Spirit lead me where I'm going. Let me walk upon the waters, wherever you would hold me. That's all I can remember of it, because usually if I listen to the song, I automatically sing along with it and pray to God and sing with God and stuff. But I looked up online and it says, according to Hillsong, it's about stepping into the unknown and a song about faith and trust. Now for the rest of the week. Today's is Proverbs 11:25. Give freely and you will profit. Help others and you will gain more yourself. Proverbs 11:25. Sorry. First I got cold and now it feels hot. Okay, let's look up the meaning. There are many reasons why a truly generous person will prosper. There does seem to be a distinction between those who seem to share their happiness and relative prosperity with those around them, and those who seem to serve others out of some sort of obligation and self-hatred. The grumpy social worker comes to mind who chooses the career in order to look down on those they serve. But when a truly generous person shares their prosperity, a cycle of refreshing begins to turn, until it's hard to tell which came first, the generosity or the feeling of prosperity and refreshment. God calls us to be a source of refreshment to others, and generally, the degree to which we are able to do that will be the degree to which we ourselves receive refreshments in return. This seems to line up with the way that He has created the world, with certain principles of justice and mercy. God is more generous than we can imagine. He causes His sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends more on the righteous and unrighteousness. MT 545. The way approach this proverb is simply to believe it and then seek to be a person who refreshes others and is generous. It is also reasonably to examine yourself if you don't feel refreshed. How generous have you been? Do you believe that you are deprived and your sources are scarce? Has that caused you to hold back from being generous? If so, then you are unlikely to feel refreshed, or that God is generous with you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And now for the childhood thing of the week. We're going back to veggies today. So I sneezed earlier. I usually sneeze when I feel cold, and now I'm like, that sounds stuffy. Okay, now today's VeggieTales thing is Larry Boy and the Fib from Outer Space. Alright, I feel like sneezing. Okay, here we go. Bob and Larry greet the kids once again while on the countertop. Before Bob asks the audience who has a question, Larry then remembers that he got an email from a kid named Ernesto Vetti, who hails from the city of Hackensack in the state of New Jersey. Bob is confused about the concept of email because at this time the video was released, email was still fairly new on the web as the internet, which Larry tries to explain to him. Bob then states that he got cable last month before Larry replies rather confidentially, "You are so early 90s." Okay, where was I? Which offends Bob. Larry then explains that Inezo said in his email to Larry that he just did something that he knew he wasn't supposed to do. So his friends are telling him to be super dishonest about it so that he won't get in trouble and wants to know what he should do. Bob then knows that dishonesty can be a very dangerous thing. Before asking if they have any stories about that, Larry has covered stating the same thing happened to Junior Experience once before telling Ernesto to grab his popcorn and turn down the lights so that he can get ready for Larry Boy and the Fifth from outer space. Larry then yells raw film before the lights go dim. After that, leaving Bob in the dark, figuratively and literally. The story begins with Percy and his brother discussing the film they just saw. They see what appears to be a comet flying by in the sky. Jimmy and Jerry Gold, who staff at the early morning radar station, notice that the comet and alert Larry Boy of it. Larry Boy notices the signal and then starts up the Larry Mobile and drives off into the night. It turns out that the comet is really a blue alien and starts to walk off. Next morning, Junior Asparagus and his buddy Laura Carrot are having a tea party. Junior decides to make use of his father's art Bacardi limited edition collector's plate for Mr. Snuggly. While trying to retrieve it, the shelf tips and breaks the plate, but Laura immediately leaves. The tennis ball-sized alien Fiberius, or Fib for short, emerges from behind Mr. Snuggly and convinces Junior to lie to his dad, claiming that a little Fib couldn't hurt anybody. Junior, unsure when his dad still notices the broken plate, asks his son what happened to it. Junior lies and said that Laura broke the plate by using her new apple chopper on it. Junior's dad, Natifi, I can't read words, buys the lie and decides to call Laura's dad to talk to him about what happened. Fib comes out of hiding and congratulates Junior. Also, Junior notices that Fib looks a bit bigger. Fib shakes this comment off, and then the two of them leave the crime scene unpunished. Larry Boy begins to search for the alien but passes him, but not before greeting Junior and Fib. Later on, Junior is confronted by his buddy Percy. Fib then goes and hides in the alley. Percy tells Junior about the situation with the plate and expresses his confusion at the claim that two different people broke the plate. Junior decides to pin the blame on Laura's brother Lenny for breaking the plate by giving it to a crocodile to chew it up. Like Junior's father, Percy natively buys the story and leaves him be. Junior tells Fib it worked again, only now Fib has grown bigger and had gotten feet. Larry Boy reports to Alfred that he has found no extraterrestrial life in Bumbleberg, and therefore heading back to Larry's cave because he has been driving around in the Larry Mobile all day. Not to mention he's tired and /hungry and desperate in need of the bathroom, and also his super suit is very constricting. Then the Larry Mobile just passed by Fib again. Later that evening, Junior and Fib are still out, but Laura, Percy, and Lenny confront him about his lies. When Junior tells the aliens matching these cows, swapping brains with the cows, and then the cows with the alien brain coming to Earth, breaking the plate, which was literally the plot of the entire movie Percy and his little brother saw in the beginning of the story. Fib grows into a massive giant with hands who swap out his friendly demeanor with a cautious one and holds Junior captive pretty soon. Fib starts causing misery and mayhem all over Bumblebird, destroying stuff. Back at HQ, Larry is engaged in a game of Candyland with Alfred. Unfortunately for Larry, he's been stuck in Mirage's swamp for 38 consecutive turns. When Alfred gets to Princess Lolly, Larry pulls another card, but he is still stuck. He then says sarcastically, I hope the rest of my world is having a better day than I am. Larry then sees the destruction as Alfred. Larry tells his butler he has work to do and consider the game postponed. Alfred looks and agrees. Back outside, Faith continues to wreak havoc upon the city. Junior doesn't understand why the creature who he thought was a friend was doing this to him. It turns out Faith reveals that the thing that happened with Faith. They grow, and now Faith is big. It's his turn to call the shots. And now Junior belongs to Faith instead of the other way around. Larry Boy shows up and try to save the day. Percy comments that if anyone can stop Faith, Larry Boy can. Larry Boy commands Faith to drop Junior, but Faith taunts him. Soon, Larry Boy pursues Faith via the Larry Mobile as Faith tries to escape by climbing to the top of the Bumblebee Bird water tower. It turns out that Alfred made some modifications to his vehicle. Alfred tells him to press the green and blue buttons, but those activate the horn and wipers respectively. Alfred then reveals that it was the yellow one. Soon, the Larry Mobile turned into a Larry plane and flies into the sky. It turns out that the Larry plane is unnamed because Alfred didn't bother making any weapons. Unnamed. Larry Boy ejects himself out of the plane and tries to somehow tackle the Faith like a missile, but is grabbed at the last second. It turns out, according to Alfred's calculations, Larry Boy can do nothing to stop the Faith. Alfred makes a discovery. After Larry Boy can do nothing to stop him, there is someone else who can. Larry later chooses to eat Larry Boy because he sort of looks like candy. Just when Larry Boy is about to get eaten, Alfred's computer gets unplugged. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't know who can stop Faith. Unfortunately, he plugs it back in, but he has to wait for it to reboot. Just when it seems like Larry Boy is doomed, Alfred informs him that Junior is the only one who can stop the Faith. Junior soon realizes that he has to tell the truth. He confesses to his parents, the entire crowd, that he broke the plate. Faith spits out Larry Boy, and Junior confesses that the lies he told about Laura and Lenny are admitting it was his fault. The Faith shrinks out of existence. Junior gets down from the water tower via Larry Boy, water plunger, and ate humble pie with his dad and the broken bowling plate. His dad forgives him, but he wishes Junior told him from the beginning. Junior thought that his dad would get angry at him by telling the truth. Dad tells Junior that he means a lot more to him than some bowling plate. Junior then inquires if he should be punished, but his parents come to a consent that what he'd been through today was the punishment. But only if he promises to tell them the truth from that point on. Junior hugs his dad. Officer Scooter gets all emotional and even tried to thank Larry Boy, but he had already left. We then see Larry Boy making the missing piece of the Larry signal for dramatic purposes. Later that evening, the red version of Faith falls into the Junior neighborhood looking for someone to help it grow. Back on the countertop, Bob congratulates Larry, but now in his Larry Boy costume, for doing a good job. Larry thanks Bob before saying that he has a meeting with his action figure people in 10 minutes. When Bob questions this, Larry says that Larry Boy mania is sweeping the nation. If you're on board, you're gonna miss the train. Bob then says that they're over by Quibi to talk about what we learned today. Before Quibi plays the What We Have Learned song. I forgot the rest. I forgot the song. Take a look. That's all I can remember. Bob hop off to turn off, but Larry uses his super suction ear to pull Bob back after the song ends. After Larry retracts his super suction ear again, Bob then explains that Junior thought the best way to get out of trouble was to be dishonesty. Doesn't he mean dishonest? Larry then adds that Junior had to keep telling more lies, more and more bits of dishonesty, until he was trapped and became a slave to his dishonesty. Bob then notes that the only way for Junior to get free was being honest. Quibby brings up the verse, which is, "The truth will set you free," John 8:32b. Before Bob then explains that that the only way to be truly free to do what God wants us to do, and God wants us to be honest. Bob then explains that he's not saying that Ernesto might not get punished for whatever crime he committed, but as our main character Junior learned, facing his parents and telling the truth is a lot less painful than getting stuck in a big chunk of dishonesty. Larry then agrees before telling Bob that they need to clear the stage because it's time to premiere the new music video. Larry Boy then leaves and Bob is confused and asks Larry if he is joking. Bob then realizes that Larry is not joking and says, "Larry, we got to talk." We are treated to a music video of the Larry Boy theme song. Then the episode ends. Larry Boy, Larry Boy, Larry, Larry. That's all I can remember. But that is all for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and you're going to be seeing some words. 3, 2, 1.